Morning students. So in the previous classes I have discussed about the anatomy of root system, that is both normal tap root system and the anatomy of curved root systems. So in today's class we will discuss about the anatomy of stem, that is the internal structure of stem in case of cycas. While explaining the external characters, I told you that in case of cycas, the stem is hard, woody, and it is unbranched in nature. And I also told you that one of the characteristic feature in case of cycas stem, that is the presence of persistent leaf bases. These arc-like structures, they are known as the leaf traces. So usually these leaf traces, they are present in the cortex region, and the leaf bases, they are present exactly opposite to the leaf traces. Leaf base. So these leaf bases are the nothing but remnants of leaf. Whenever a leaf gets older, it fall off from the stem. At that time, on the region where the leaf was present on the stem, a scar is formed on the stem because of the falling of leaf. So that scar is nothing but the leaf base. So the presence of persistent leaf bases is one of the important characteristic feature in case of cycas stem. Let us move on to the internal structure of stem. If you look at the internal structure of stem in case of cycas, it exactly resembles the internal structure of dicot stem. The anatomy of cycas stem shows similarities with the anatomy of dicot stem. If you look at the section of cycas stem, it is mainly differentiated into three parts. The outermost one is known as the epidermis. The outermost layer of the cycas stem is known as epidermis. The epidermis is followed by a large cortex, and the cortex is followed by a central vascular bundles. And another important thing in case of structure of stem is at the center pith is present, large pith is present at the center, but in case of root this pith is absent, but the pith is present in case of stem. So the stem structure, it is mainly differentiated into epidermis, cortex and the vascular bundles. So let us see one by one. First, the outermost layer of the stem is known as the epidermis. The outermost layer of the stem, it is made up of a single layer cells. It is known as epidermis, and sometimes this epidermis is covered with a layer of cuticle. The epidermis is covered by cuticle. So epidermis is the outermost layer and it is covered by cuticle. And next to the epidermis you will find the cortical region. So the cortical region or the cortex, it is mainly made up of parenchymatous cells. Cortical region or the cortex of stem in case of cycas, it is mainly made up of parenchymatous cells, and the major part of this stem is covered by the cortical region, or the cortex cells cover the major part of the stem, and the cortical cells, they are mainly made up of parenchymatous cells. And this cortical cells, they also shows the presence of some of the cells which stores starch. Some of the cells in the cortex, they store starch grains, so they are known as storage cells. Some of the cells, they are modified into storage cells. Those storage cells, they store the starch grains. Starch grains, they are nothing but the storage food materials. And some of the cells in case of cortex, they also consist of mucilaginous canals. These mucilaginous canals, again, they help in storing the water and food materials. The cortical region of the cortex, it is mainly consists of parenchymatous cells. So some of the parenchymatous cells, they are modified into storage cells. Those storage cells, they store the starch grains, and some more cells, they are modified into mucilaginous canals. Those mucilaginous canals again help in storage of water and nutrients. And one of the important characteristic feature in case of stem is the presence of leaf bases. So you can see here these scars or the scar-like structure or the arc-like structures which are present in the cortical region. Example, these things. These arc-like structures which are present on the cortical region of the stem, they are nothing but the leaf traces. They are nothing but the leaf traces. These leaf traces, they are nothing but the vascular supply. The leaf trace, they are nothing but the vascular supply which connects to the vascular bundles of the stem to the vascular bundles of the leaf. See, these leaf traces, they are nothing but the vascular supply which connects the vascular bundle of stem to the vascular bundles of the leaf. So the presence of leaf traces in the cortical region is one of the characteristic feature in case of cycas stem. So this is about the cortical region. Presence of storage cells, mainly it is made up of parenchymatous cells. It consists of storage cells and the mucilaginous canals. Along with that, leaf traces are present. Those leaf traces are nothing but the vascular supply connecting between the vascular bundles of the stem to the vascular bundles of the leaf. The innermost layer of the cortex, it is differentiated into endodermis. The innermost layer of the cortex is known as the endodermis, and the endodermis is followed by the pericycle. But in case of cycas stem, both the endodermis and the pericycle, they are not distinct or they are not very well differentiated. The endodermis and the pericycle, they are followed by vascular bundles. The endodermis and the pericycle, they are followed by vascular bundles. If you look at the vascular bundles in case of stem, they are very small and they are very few in young stem. In case of young stem, the vascular bundles are less in number when compared to the old stem. And the vascular bundles, they are present in the form of a ring. For example, you can see here. These are all the vascular bundles. They are present in the form of a ring. The vascular bundles, they are present in the form of a ring. And in case of cycas stem, the vascular bundles, they are said to be ectofloic siphonostele. They are said to be ectofloic siphonostele. Vascular bundles in case of cycas stem, they are said to be ectofloic siphonostele. So, what do you mean by this? This ectofloic siphonostele means usually central pith is present, and this pith is surrounded by the vascular bundles. like xylem and phloem. Central pith is present. This central pith is surrounded by xylem and phloem. This condition is known as siphonosteal. So ectofloic siphonosteal means usually in this condition what happens? Central pith is present. So this central pith is covered by a layer of xylem, and this xylem is covered by a layer of phloem. Central pith is present. That pith region is covered by a ring of xylem, and a ring of xylem is covered by a ring of phloem. So this condition is known as ectofloic siphonosteal. Central pith is present. It is covered by a ring of xylem. So these two, they are covered by a ring of phloem. This condition is known as ectofloic siphonosteal. So in case of cycastem, the vascular bundles, the nature of vascular bundles is ectofloic siphonosteal. Another important thing in case of vascular bundles is that these vascular bundles, they are said to be conjoint, collateral, endark, and open. First, the vascular bundles are ectofloic siphonosteal, and if you look at the nature of the vascular bundles, they are said to be conjoint, collateral, endark, and open. What do you mean by these terms? Conjoint vascular bundles means both the xylem and phloem, they are present in the same radii. If xylem and phloem, they are present in the same radii, so such type of arrangement is known as conjoint arrangement of vascular bundles. Next, coming to the collateral. Collateral means both xylem and phloem, they are present side by side. If xylem and phloem, they are present side by side, that condition is known as collateral. Endark means, as I have said while explaining the internal structure of root, endark condition means the protoxylem is present towards the center and the metaxylem is present towards the periphery. This condition is known as endark. And open means usually in between the xylem and phloem you will find the presence of cambium. So if cambium is present in between the phloem and the xylem, the vascular bundle is said to be open. So conjoint, the vascular bundles are conjoint means xylem and phloem, they are present in the same radii. The vascular bundles are said to be collateral. The xylem and phloem, they are present side by side. They are endark. Endark means the protoxylem towards the center and the metaxylem towards the periphery, and they are open. In between the xylem and phloem, you will find the presence of cambium. So the vascular bundles in case of stem, they are said to be conjoint, collateral, endark, and open. So this is about the vascular cylinder in case of cycas stem. And another important feature, in case of xylem, only the xylem tracheids and xylem parenchyma are present. In case of xylem, you will find the presence of xylem tracheids and xylem parenchyma. Usually the vessel elements are absent. In xylem, vessel elements are absent. They are represented by only tracheids and the xylem parenchyma. And in case of phloem, companion cells are absent. Companion cells are absent in case of phloem. The phloem in case of cycas stem is represented by sieve tube and the phloem parenchyma. Only phloem parenchyma and sieve tube elements are present in phloem. And in case of xylem, tracheids and xylem parenchyma are present. And if you look at the xylem elements, In the protoxylem, usually the xylem, in case of protoxylem, it shows spiral thickening. Protoxylem shows spiral thickening and the metaxylem shows scalariform thickening. Scalariform thickening. Protoxylem shows spiral thickening and the metaxylem shows spiral thickening. Scalariform thickening. Next, followed by the pith. Vascular cylinders, they are followed by the central pith. So, in case of cycastem, prominent pith is present at the center. Prominent pith is present at the center. The cells of this pith, they are mainly made up of parenchymatous cells. The pith cells, they are nothing but the parenchymatous cells. Again, some of these parenchymatous cells, they are modified themselves into mucilaginous canals. These mucilaginous canals, they help in storage of water, food and nutrients. So this is about the internal structure of young stem in case of cycas. It is differentiated into epidermis, cortex and the vascular bundles, and it is central prominent pith is present. Epidermis is the outermost layer. It is covered by the cuticle. The epidermis is followed by the cortical region. The cortical region is mainly made up of parenchymatous cells. Some of the parenchymatous cells, they are modified into storage cells, which stores the starch grain, and some of the cells, they are modified into mucilaginous cells. These mucilaginous cells, they store water and the nutrients. The cortical region is followed by the innermost layer of the cortical region is known as endodermis. Both the endodermis and pericycle, they are not distinct in case of cycastem. Pericycle, endodermis and the pericycle, they are followed by the vascular cylinders. Vascular bundles in case of cycas stem, they are said to be ectofluic siphonosteal, which means the central pith is surrounded by a layer of xylem and the layer of xylem is surrounded by a layer of phloem. And the vascular bundles in case of young stem, they are said to be conjoined, collateral, endark and open. And in case of xylem, xylem vessels are absent, only they are represented by tracheids and xylem parenchyma. In case of phloem, they are represented by sieve tube elements and the phloem parenchyma. In case of phloem, companion cells are absent. And in case of protoxylem, you will find the spiral thickening, and in case of metaxylem, you will find the scalariform thickening. So, at the center of the stem, you will find the presence of a prominent pith. This pith is made up of parenchymatous cells, and some of the parenchymatous cells, they are modified into mucilaginous canals, which help in storage of water and nutrients. So, this is about the anatomy of the young stem of cycas. So, next we will move on to the secondary growth in case of cycas. This secondary growth is nothing but the increase in the girth of the stem. So, during the secondary growth, the girth of the stem is increased. How this girth of the stem is increased means, because of the activity of a special type of cells, they are known as cambial cells or the cambium. Because of the activity of this cambium, the girth of the stem is increased. So, this entire process is known as the secondary growth. So, if you look at the secondary growth in case of cycas, it is exactly similar to that of secondary growth in case of dicot stems. See, this secondary growth is occurred because of the activity of two types of cambium cells. One is the vascular cambium, which is present in the vascular bundle system, and another one is the cork cambium, which is present in the cortical region. So, if you look at the activity of vascular cambium, Usually again this vascular cambium, it also consists of two types of cambium, vascular cambium, intervesicular cambium and intravesicular cambium. Intervesicular cambium means the cambium is present in between the vascular bundles. This is phloem and this is the xylem. So in between these two, cambium is present. So this cambium is known as intervesicular cambium. And in between two vascular bundles, a layer of cambium is present, that is intravesicular cambium. So vascular cambium is divided into intervesicular cambium and intravesicular cambium. Intervesicular cambium is present between the xylem and phloem, and in between two vascular bundles, intravesicular cambium is present. So first what happens? Both the intervesicular cambium and intravesicular cambium, they start dividing. Once they start dividing, they both form a ring. Both intravesicular and intervesicular cambium, they attaches themselves and they form a central ring. So this is known as, this ring is known as cambial ring. So the cells present in the cambial ring, they divide continuously. Towards the outer side of the ring, they produce secondary phloem, and towards the inner side of the ring, they produce secondary xylem. Intravesicular and intervesicular cambium combine to form a cambial ring. The cells in the cambial ring, they divide continuously. Towards the outer side of the cambial ring, they produces the secondary phloem, and towards the inner side of the cambial ring, they produces the secondary xylem. In this way, a new ring of secondary vascular bundles are formed. So this new ring of vascular bundles is known as the growth ring. Usually, in case of dicot stem, a single growth ring is formed every year. So that's why this is known as annual ring. Annual ring in case of dicot stem. But usually in case of cycas, what happens? A ring is formed for every 2 years. In some species, every 1 year a ring is formed, but usually it is formed every 2 years. So this is not referred as an annual ring. Annual ring means for every 1 year, one ring should be formed. That is found in dicot stem. But in case of cycas, for every 2 years, a ring of vascular bundles is formed. So this is just referred to as a growth ring. A growth ring is formed because of the activity of the cambium. So once secondary vascular bundles are produced, this cambial ring, it becomes inactive. So again, when it becomes inactive, again another cambial ring is formed, and again that cambial ring, it produces secondary xylem towards the outside, towards the inside, and secondary phloem towards the outside. Again another ring of vascular bundles is formed. Again, once the second ring of vascular bundle is formed, the cambial ring again becomes inactive. Again another cambial ring is produced. So this kind of division, it occurs every 2 years. So several rings of vascular bundles can be found in case of old stem. So this is nothing but the secondary growth in case of cycas stem. So this is in particularly the activity of vascular cambium. If you look at the cortical region, in cortical region also similar thing will happen. First the cambium, cork cambium is formed, and that cork cambium, towards, it divides continuously, and towards the outer side it produces the phloem, and towards the inner side it produces the phallodon. This phallodon is also known as secondary cortex. So you can see here the central phloem is nothing but the cork cambium. So this cork cambium, towards the outer side it produces the phloem, and towards the inner side it produces the phallodon. This phallodon is also known as secondary cortex. So this is about the secondary growth in case of cycas stem. So because of the secondary growth, secondary vascular rings are formed in the vascular cylinder, and phloem and phelloderm they are formed in the cortical region. Because of the formation of secondary rings, the girth of the stem will increase. So this is about the secondary growth of cycas, secondary growth in stem of cycas. So in the next class we will study the anatomy of rachis and the leaf.